Hi everyone, this is Vijay Lakshmi, DAV RTPP Kadapa, Faculty Department of Science. Yesterday in previous class we studied about animal tissue. Animal tissue are of four types: epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscular tissue, nervous tissue. Yesterday in previous session we have learned about epithelial tissue. Let us have a quick recap about epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissue form the skin, and epithelial tissue are of different types based on their shape and function, like squamous epithelial tissue, stratified squamous epithelial tissue, columnar epithelial tissue, ciliated epithelial tissue, cuboidal epithelial tissue. Today let us discuss about another tissue, animal tissue called connective tissue. So before going to the connective tissue, our skeletal system is made up of number of bones. Similarly, our hand itself is also made up of bones. How these bones are remain disconnected? What made these bones still connected? There is a tissue which is fibrous in nature, which connects bone to bone. The entire our body is connected by a tissue called connective tissue. This connective tissue connects entire body together and acts like a proper bridge in our body and connect the bones together to form entire skeletal framework in our body. The name of that tissue is called connective tissue. What is the name of the tissue? Connective tissue. The bone to bone connection is seen. The bone and bone are connected. That's why they are not dislocated. What made them not dislocated? What made them still connected? Here is the answer. Well, it is a connective tissue. Connective tissue connect the entire body together and act like a proper bridge in our body and connect the bones together to form an entire skeletal framework in our body. That's why it is also called as connective tissue proper. The connective tissue is divided into three types: connective tissue proper, supportive connective tissue, fluid connective tissue. Well, before going to the support connective tissue proper, let us discuss the characteristic feature of connective tissue. When you observe the connective tissue under microscope, we come across individual cells remain scattered. The cells are scattered and there is a large amount of space between one cell to another cell, and that space is filled with a substance called matrix. This matrix is made up of protein fibers giving fibrous appearance. The features of connective tissue is cells are scattered and there is a large amount of matrix, and this matrix is made up of protein fibers giving fibrous appearance to the tissue. Now this connective tissue proper is again divided into three types: fibrous tissue, areolar tissue, adipose tissue. Fibrous tissue, areolar tissue, adipose tissue. Okay, well children, let us discuss about the fibrous tissue, areolar tissue, adipose tissue. Let us discuss about fibrous tissue. You have seen you are able to stand straight, you are able to sit upright. What made you to sit straight? What made you to stand upright? Here the bone and bones are connected with a tissue. Similarly, bones are also connected with a muscle. And when bone and bone is connected with a tissue called ligament. Ligament connects bone to bone. What connects the muscle? A special tissue called tendon connects the muscle to a bone. So to remember very clearly, we have a small formula here. LBB. Ligament connects bone to bone. TMB. Tendon connects muscle to the bone. And these both connective tissues are made up of a very specialized protein called collagen, which give a fibrous appearance to this tissue. With the help of these ligaments and tendons, we are able to move our body parts. And ligaments you can see in the joints, and the bicipital and tendons are attached to the bones, Well children, let us discuss about another tissue called areolar tissue. Before going to the areolar tissue, children, your skin is smooth? Yes, you all have smooth skin. What about your grandparents? Do their grandparents have the smooth skin? No. Their skin is loose and then it has wrinkles. What made the skin to develop wrinkles? Which tissue is responsible to keep your skin in elastic position? There is a very special tissue beneath the skin. The tissue is called areolar tissue. What is the tissue? Areolar tissue. With progressive increase in the aging, this areolar tissue loses its elasticity and developed wrinkles. When you are in young age, areolar tissue has lot of elasticity. When you grow up, this elasticity will be loosened by this areolar tissue and then develop wrinkles. The main function of areolar tissue is to hold the different organs in proper place. All the organs will be in their fixed place. Heart will be in the chest cavity. Kidneys are the back of the abdominal cavity. Like that, there won't be any mixing of organs in our body. Areolar tissue hold the different organs in the proper place. Not only that, areolar tissue provide elasticity to the skin and keep our skin smooth. Now coming to the another connective tissue proper is adipose tissue. This adipose tissue has oval cells. The cells of adipose tissue are oval in shape, and these oval cells are filled with full of fat, and there will be abundant matrix in these adipose tissues when you observe them under microscope. And this adipose tissue form a layer under the skin. Under the areolar tissue, adipose tissue is present. Under the skin, areolar tissue is present. Under the areolar tissue, adipose tissue is present. The main function of this adipose tissue is to protect the internal organs. They form a padding material around the internal organs. They store the fat under the skin. And provide a padding material for all the internal organs and protect the internal organs from mechanical stress. Not only that, this adipose tissue act as an insulator and retain the warmth of the body and protect the body from cold climatic condition. You can take a best example of polar bear, children. Polar bear will have a thick layer of fat under the skin. This thick layer of fat under the skin is formed by adipose tissue. What type of tissue is formed? Adipose tissue. This thick layer of fat protect the polar bear from harsh climatic conditions in the polar region. Now let us go for another tissue called supportive connective tissue. Well children, our body is supported by bones. In the absence of the skeletal system, our body will look like a lump. Now this name itself indicates the bone will support our body. And this supportive connective tissue is again divided into two types, bone and cartilage. As usual, it is a connective tissue. Bone tissue also have scattered cells with large amount of matrix. The matrix in the bone tissue consists of two important elements called calcium and phosphorus. This calcium will give hardness to bones. What made the bones too hard? Because of presence of calcium. Apart from calciums and phosphorus, apart from the matrix, there are some canals in the bone tissue. These canals will accommodate nerve cells and blood vessels. Now when you touch the pin of your ear, you feel it is very flexible and it is it is nothing but cartilage. The external pinna is made up of a cartilage which is a flexible proteinaceous fiber softer than bone. And the lack of calcium. Due to lack of calcium, the cartilage is soft. And due to presence of calcium, the bone is hard. Calcium is the whole and soul responsible for the hardness of bone. And this cartilage is a flexible proteinous fiber which is softer than bone. And this cartilage is present on the tip of the nose, external pinna, trachea. The trachea is nothing but the windpipe which is made up of C-shaped cartilaginous rings. The trachea is made up of C-shaped cartilaginous rings which protect the trachea from closing and collapsing. You take a fish shark. The entire skeletal system of shark is made up of cartilage. And this cartilage is softer than bone. And the tip of the ribs are also made up of cartilage. Okay children, thank you. For this session, we discussed about connective tissue. In the next session, we'll discuss about muscular tissue. Thank you.